Today our tester Sascha Knapp is testing two Ford Focuses, the Tournier and the Focus Electric. The latter is due to hit European showrooms in 2013. First up, the Ford Tournier. The compact station wagon has a 1.6-liter, 134-kilowatt gasoline engine, which propels it to a top speed of 222 kilometers an hour. Fuel consumption is 5.9 liters per 100 kilometers. So clearly, it's not as environmentally friendly as the electric-powered Focus. Both models have well-balanced suspensions with McPherson struts. Prices for the gas-powered Tournier start at just under 22,000 euros in Germany. Sports seats, as well as tire pressure monitoring and start-stop systems, come as standard. And now let's see what the Focus Electric looks like. Ford's designers have made a few visual changes. The front looks chunkier, and the fuel door is now located at the front. A LED ring shows the battery's charging status. As its name suggests, the motor is fully electric and produces 107 kilowatts of power. The car's rear end is more reminiscent of Ford's Fiesta model than the standard Focus. Inside, the Focus Electric is classy and uncluttered. This is the American version, which is already available in the U.S. The Focus Electric is Ford's first all-electric model. It has a 107 kilowatt electric motor powered by a 23 kilowatt lithium-ion battery. The carmaker says the vehicle can travel 160 kilometers on a single charge, which is sufficient for everyday city driving. It takes just 3 to 4 hours to charge the battery with high-voltage current. The Focus Electric is being built at Ford's Saarlouis plant in western Germany. Ford's Ralph Saba says they'll start marketing and producing the car in Europe in the first half of 2013. It'll come as a complete package, battery and car for one price. But Ford won't say exactly what the price will be. Sascha was only able to drive the Focus Electric for a short while, but says it seems solid and made a good impression. In the U.S., the car sells for the equivalent of 30,000 euros. So, with taxes, prospective European buyers should expect to pay around 35,000 euros. Sascha was pleased with his test drive. He was impressed by the Focus Electric, especially the fact that it's very quiet yet accelerates quickly. The Ford Focus could be just the car for environmentally conscious drivers who appreciate peace and quiet, but those who can't wait until next year are still well served with the regular gas-powered Focus. If you go down in the woods today, you might be in for a big surprise. In this case, not a bear, but a wolf in sheep's clothing, the Audi RS. All the models in the range have one thing in common. They are all top performers in their respective segments. Let's sneak a peek at the beast. The RS4 Avant has been around for 12 years. Audi is now presenting the third generation of the executive sports wagon. The lower-lying body brings it 2 centimeters closer to the tarmac. Carbon ceramic brakes are available as an optional extra. Gaze into the eye of the beast, and it doesn't just have a mean-looking face. The huge air inlets give it a predatory, omnipotent look. Our car reviewer Matis reveals the heart of the RS Avant. It has 8 cylinders and no turbocharger, but instead a naturally aspirated engine, which sounds like this. The high revs V8 generates 331 kilowatts of power. Not bad, right? Mattes isn't yet sure whether you really need it, so he feels obliged to take a test trip to find out. This baby's humongous torque of 430 Newton meters powers the car from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 4.7 seconds. The official fuel consumption of 10.7 liters for 100 kilometers is extremely optimistic, however. The 7-speed S-tronic box is standard, as is the Audi Drive Select driving dynamic system. You can set the Drive Select to dynamic for maximum performance setup. That gives the car a super sensitive response from the steering and throttle. Wow, Mattes feels like he's about to take off.
Gas, das spricht so direkt an. Da wackelt alles hier im Auto, das ist unglaublich.
But at the touch of a button, he can switch settings and then coast in comfort as if he were driving a luxury sedan. That's what really cuts it with this car.
Als wäre das hier eine ganz gediegene, ruhige Reiselimousine. Das ist doch eigentlich das, was dieses Auto ausmacht.
A tale of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. For this beast certainly has a soft side too. The black dashboard makes a sporty, but nevertheless reserved impression. The steering wheel has a flattened bottom, and the headrests are integrated into the backs of the sport seats. And there's oodles of room for rear seat passengers too. The one minor gripe is that it takes a lot to feed the beast. If you're going to buy an RS4 with a V8 engine, 450 horsepower, and a rev range of 8,500, you'll probably be aware of one thing. This won't exactly be the most fuel-efficient model at your dealership. We measured 13.3 liters for 100 kilometers. You could drive it a bit more considerately, but then why would you want this car? You can reckon with 13.5 liters. And you can add those fuel costs to a substantial price tag. In Germany, the new RS4 Avant starts at 76,600 euros. Porsche has launched a sporty edition of the Cayenne diesel. It comes with an 8-cylinder engine and a top output of 261 kilowatts. Top speed is electronically limited to 252 kilometers an hour. The manufacturer cites a fuel consumption figure of 8.3 liters for 100 kilometers. The Cayenne S diesel costs 77,684 euros in Germany. This is the latest version of the Smart, which features a lithium-ion battery and its own in-car cinema. The Smart for Stars runs on electric power and can seat two, with ample cargo capacity. A glass roof gives occupants a clear view of the sky above. Then there's a hood-mounted projector for your very own mobile drive-in movie theater. Sea to Sky is one of the most unusual enduro races worldwide. It's being staged for the third time, and 130 competitors from 20 countries are taking part. The rally is being held in Kemar, Turkey, and driving on sand is something new for the riders. The beach race is the first of 3 challenging stages and will determine the starting lineup for the next one through the woods. Britain's Johnny Walker comes out the winner.
Yeah, the atmosphere is great, you know, the crowd and everything, and everyone in Kemar, Turkey, they seem to love it, you know, try to get the pictures taken with you, and that's, you know, atmosphere just boosts everyone up and makes everyone feel a little bit happier.
It's a beautiful sunny day for the race through the woods. Steep 30-degree inclinations, uneven trails, and narrow paths are all part of the challenge. It's a tough event for both the riders and their machines. Among those taking part, extreme enduro superstar Graham Jarvis, who finishes first. The next day sees the toughest stage, which takes the participants up Mount Olympus. The start is once again beside the sea, with participants setting off in groups of 10 every 2 minutes. The riders have to master a 2,300-meter climb today. Just 25 of the 130 participants make it up to the summit within the 6-hour time limit. Graham and Johnny, the winners of the preliminary stages, engage in an exciting duel. The more experienced of the two is the winner. Graham Jarvis once again dominates the extreme enduro scene. Johnny finishes in second place.
I must say I was a bit nervous, like setting off. I knew it was going to be a close race because it is a rideable track, and Johnny was putting me under real pressure early on. So I just had to keep calm and focus on what I was doing, and then had a sprint finish towards the end and managed to just pull a bit of time on him.
This car is a one-off and the last of its kind. It sports the VW logo, but this 1954 Beutler convertible is certainly no run-of-the-mill VW. Back then, all VWs were mass-produced. High-speed luxury vehicles were not on the company's agenda. In the early 50s, VW had just 2 models, explains test driver Christoph Bauer: the robust, cheap VW Beetle and the practical VW Buzz. Anyone who wanted a touch of luxury ordered the Export Beetle instead of the standard one. It came with a small vase on the dashboard, but soon clever coach builders discovered the Beetle as the perfect base for their luxury bodies.
Den VW Käfer als perfekte Basis für ihre edlen Spezialkarosserien.
The first convertible based on the VW Beetle was made by Beutler in 1949. Fellow Germans Carmen presented the successful VW 4-seater convertible at almost the same time. Apart from the missing roof and the modified rear, the bodies were just like the ones for regular VW Beetles. Swift brothers Ernst and Fritz Beutler went a step further, explains Christoph. They just used the VW base and the technology and added a very special body. The two metal experts had already given the first Porsche 356 a smart sheet metal coat in 1948. And then in 1954 they came up with the Beutler convertible.
Da folgt dann diese Schönheit, das Beutler Spezialcabriolet.
The two brothers always followed the same procedure. They clad the base with an elegant, exclusive light metal chassis. Clients could also opt for customized engine tuning. In 1954, the car was powered by a 1.2-liter Boxer engine from the brand new VW 1200. But the normal 30 horsepower weren't enough, so the Swiss brothers used a U.S. Judson compressor for extra power. The car then had an impressive 43 horsepower, 3 more than a basic Porsche. It reached top speeds of 135 kilometers an hour, and that was pretty impressive in the late 1950s. And it still gets you through the traffic nice and swiftly today, says Christoph. The Beutler convertible needs just 15 seconds to go from 0 to 100 thanks to the special compressor. A normal Beetle needed around 30. Christoph finds this convertible a great example of excellent workmanship and no-frills elegance. The judges at the 1954 Geneva Car Fair were certainly impressed. They awarded it the coveted Rose d'Or. The daughter of a rich Swiss factory owner bought the car at the fair, and Christoph reckons she's responsible for some of the dents in the original chassis. This is a perfect patina. It really gives you a feel for the history of a car. The almost perfect original condition of the Beutler convertible makes it a real rarity. The lightweight, simple aluminum chassis still has its original paint. Rather remarkable for a car that is almost 60 years old. The Beutler brothers built 3 of these 4-seater convertibles up until 1956. This car is the first of its kind, as indicated by the golden rose on the dashboard. It is also the last of its kind. The other 2 convertibles have vanished without a trace. This here is a small bundle of energy, a VW Boxer engine with a US Judson compressor. It fits in a VW Beetle as well as a Karmann Ghia. This double fan belt, explains Christoph, is connected to the crankshaft and drives a small rotor that intensifies the air-gas mix to around 0.4 bar. That means the car can accelerate almost twice as fast as one with a standard engine. Judson guaranteed that the lifespan of the VW engine was in no way shortened by the compressor, but it did give the engine a richer sound. The Beutler is on show at the VW Museum in Wolfsburg, alongside some 100 outstanding examples of automobile history. Special chassis and coach work are nothing new. In the old days, manufacturers just delivered the technology, and the bodywork was done by specialized companies. Now, in the days of mass production, these specialists occupy a niche market, building cars by hand that the big names cannot deliver. For example, sporty convertibles with reliable VW technology. And craftsmanship comes at a price, Christoph points out, and that meant a price tag of 15,000 Deutschmarks for the Beutler convertible. In the 50s, that would have bought you 2 VW convertibles, or a Porsche 356 convertible with a 70-horsepower engine. But that's not the main reason why only 3 of these cars were built. In 1954, VW's Heinrich Nordhoff stopped deliveries of Beutler and other coach builders, saying, "We are a car factory and not a coach maker." That is why only 3 were built, and this is the only remaining example. The success of the self-supporting body meant the end of special editions. After all, the body and chassis are one in modern cars. And individual metal casings involve huge changes to the overall car design. But in post-war West Germany, manufacturers wanted more individuality and were inspired by such exotic vehicles as the Beutler convertible. Just 3 cars, but a milestone in automotive history? Christoph Bauer would say so. The Beutler convertible can be seen as a forerunner of the extremely popular Karmann Ghia. It was one of the first cars to combine exclusive design with the robust technology of a production car. So for him, the Beutler convertible has a place in automotive history. Karmann builds the Karmann Ghia and the Beetle convertible in Osnabrück. Swiss chassis builders Beutler survived until 1987 before disappearing off the automotive horizon.